Phil from Moto-Mate. Slightly different location today. We are here with Richard's KTM 1290 Super Duke GT. That's not a mouthful at all. Since we launched the navigation mount for the Super Adventure, I've had a number of GT owners saying, I think the dash is the same. Will this fit my GT? And of course the answer is no, because, I mean, why would you make something that's compatible across more than one model? Good heavens. So what we've done is we have the Moto-Mate Super Duke GT mount in a similar style to the Super Adventure. Mounts up, we've reverse engineered the TFT mounting frame, so it mounts up behind and puts the nav up above the instruments. Let's bolt it on and see what it looks like. Because we are going to be testing this with a Garmin mount, I've inserted already the 4 threaded inserts to take, so the Garmin will just bolt up onto that. But for Richard, when we leave it with him to test, he's going to be using a Quadlock mount. So we'll go through that again in a little while. But so I've inserted the threaded inserts. So the first thing to do is to remove the TFT, which on the Super Duke, we've got 2 mounts, 2 screws at the top. And on the Super Adventure, the bottom mount is just into a long top hat bush. But of course, on the GT, it's different. There we go. And we've got an 8mm nut on this side, just in down there. And then T30 on this side. And I'm operating blind. Hang on. So. Right, so with the 3 screws removed, the TFT just slides forward. And again, different to the Super Adventure. On the Super Adventure, you've got about 6 inches of cable where you can bring it forward to get to the connector. This one is really quite tight. So there's a latching clip on the top there. Release that and take it away. So the TFT removed. T25 Torx. You just need to take the frame off the back. Hold this. Okay, so with the original KTM mount removed, drop the Moto-Mate nav mount on and just simply replace the screws. I would suggest just doing them up loosely to start, so you can allow just to center the little bushes so everything is all nicely lined up. And these, the 4 mounting bushes for the TFT are anti-vibration mounts, so they're rubber. So you don't want to over tighten these because you'll tear the bush. So literally just pinch them up. That's all they need. So there we have it, uninstalled TFT. So go back again, because we've got very little cable. This is fiddly. That's on. And the lower mount is a blade that goes in between 2 points, so you need to, it's a bit of a fiddle, but that's in and on. So then it's a case of simply replacing the mounting screws. And the bottom one with the nut. Because we fitted the 4 inserts, we can now just simply grab the TFT, the sat-nav cradle and a 3mm Allen key. This is obviously presupposing that you've run your cable, your power cable, with the nav in place. So, one Garmin XT in, and away we go. So if we power that up, just turn that on. So you can see we've got a clear field of view. We're not obscuring any information on the top of the nav, on top of the TFT. So you've got all your warning lights and everything clearly visible. The nav's in place, you can get your hands behind to release. And you can also So with the screen in its lowest position, we're still nicely behind the screen. It's one Garmin XT installed. If you're using one of the 300 series Garmin's, the cradle for that mounts in what we call portrait position, so vertically, whereas most of the others, well, the other Garmin's and the TomTom will mount in a landscape format. So we have an adapter here. This one's a little bit worn, so excuse the mark. So again, that just screws in as with the cradle normally. And that's converted the mounting orientation into the portrait style. So then we need to take our cradle, just screws, and drop your nav in, and there we go. So still inside the windscreen, still clear of the TFT, so 300 series fits a treat. This isn't purely for Garmin's. TomTom navigation devices also fit straight onto the bracket. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, Richard actually uses his phone for navigation and not a nav mount. Not a TomTom or a Garmin navigation system. So what we've done is we've taken the Quadlock rectangular base, which bolts directly onto the nav mount. Obviously, pop the TFT out again just to make life easier. So let's just pop that back. And just there we go. Right, so that's all back in place. As you can see, it is properly solid. And because Richard is an iPhone user, that also means that he is using an anti-vibration mount, so that's one of those. So that should just screw straight up onto the base. Should also engaged on the, and then we've got the wireless charging head. So the thing to be aware of here is the connector doesn't hit one of these, so I think you need to have it with the two arms at the top. Yeah, there we go. So obviously, because it is on an anti-vibration mount, it's rubber, it will bounce around a little bit, but that's just a feature of the Quadlock mount itself. So just get that lined up. There we go, been unlocked. So again, see the phone is totally clear of the top of the TFT. We're not losing any data from the dash. So you've got all your warning lights and everything. So it just needs to run his power cable. And there we are. There we have it. Hope that was interesting enough. 2 Garmin sat-navs and a phone on a Quadlock mount, all on the standard Moto-Mate navigation mount. So check out the website, click the link. I'm sure somebody who's cleverer than me will put a link for the product into the video. And any questions, leave a comment, drop me an email. Happy to help. Cheers.